Hey there, everyone. Things are heating up and cooking over at the market, and I have a few stocks, a Big Bear AI stock update. That's right, BBAI stock as one of my best stocks to buy now. And then I'm also going to talk about a few others in here, SOUN SOUN stock, and then also AI stock, which is C3AI, Lucid, and then TDOC, so LCID, TDOC. Each one of them having like hugely interesting charts right now, and that's why I want to bring this to you, because we want to talk about potential upside or where we go from here, because I do think they all have that potential upside based on some evidence that we have. And then there's also some concerns or considerations that I also want to toss out there along the way. And if you guys want to check out more of the technical analysis and commentary, I'm just one of the panel experts over at the Discord. You can check us out. Links down in the description. Code word doctor when you sign up. Guys, I do want to get into the charts. Still out of my home office right now, down on vacation, family vacay up until Friday. Be back to the regular studio and the regular duties on Monday of next week. So let's pop this up here for you. And the first one that we're talking about is Big Bear AI. So I don't have a lot of the technicals up here for you, and that's on purpose. What I want you to pay attention to is actually right here on the charts, because what we have here on the charts is a touch on the 20-day with a big long wick that came off the bottom of that, and that's excellent because what that shows us is a mean reversion along with some cooling in the momentum, but still in bullish territory. Also, this yellow line right in here, that's the 13 EMA. We also closed up above that yesterday as well. We did get rejected down below the 5. We did not break back up above the 5 EMA. We want to get back on top of the 5 and the 13 in order to keep the bullishness going. Now, to put the technicals up on here for you, I know it's a mess, but what I want to tell you about this mess is that this tangle that you see right here in the middle of your screen, this mess, we landed on it for support. As I said, that's where we should find support, because that's previously where we found resistance as well. I said we need to make it up over that, and we did. We took a rocket ship on that one. And I said after that we need to make it up through this resistance, which that's why it's red now. We didn't make it up above. We sold back down to support. Yesterday, tried to push down through support, but found just a little tangle of support here as well as the 20 EMA. And as a matter of fact, that was a darn good touch on support. So the low price on that yesterday was 690. And the top line over here is 689. So we ended up landing about a penny above the Fibonacci extension level, along with the retracements that are down here as well. If I take down a lot of that mess and just leave you with the rectangles to show you a little bit more in a cleaner sense what we're looking at for Big Bear AI stock, we need to get back up on top of this green area that I'm still counting as support for now. We poked down through it for a moment, but we still have it. We do need to sit on top of it in order to keep going. And then we have that resistance above it to break yet. So it's excellent to see that just south of $7 that we still have that buying pressure there. And I still think that we have those big news catalysts coming up sometime over the next few months that is going to tell us if we're going to fill out those revenues for Big Bear AI. Their earnings date, which I believe is August the 11th. Let me click over here. Yeah, August the 11th in the after hours. That's going to be absolutely enormous for that next move that we see, whether up or down. And I do think that we're getting to a point with this that as we have those prices come down, as it starts to settle, if we see it back down to that $3 to $4 range, that's going to be that. Now, mind you, it's a speculative stock, doesn't make any money, so that means it's not returning to its investors, certainly not through dividends, because it doesn't have any profits to pay dividends from. But I will say that we start to get into, at least as far as Big Bear AI is concerned, assuming that nothing changes about the background of the company, and assuming that we're still waiting for that backlog to start filling out, that $3 to $4 range starts to become immensely valuable, not quite worthy of the title of value territory, although some people are going to get up in arms and argue. And I will say that I do still think this is a $10 to $15 stock. The question is, when is that going to happen? Is it going to happen during this run? If so, we need to see that further evidence filling out. We still have the long-term momentum on the monthly chart, long-term on the weekly chart, and also the long-term on the daily chart, or I should say the momentum on the daily chart, all signaling to us that we're still in bullish territory right now. We want to regain that 5 EMA on the daily chart. That's going to be even better for signaling us that the gravy train is still rolling here and that we're rolling right along with it. There's a lot of anticipation right now. So far, support is holding up pretty well. We do have that resistance up to $8.72 that once we sit on that, then is when we can probably start looking forward to that $10 mark coming out of that, and potentially I think with some significant news catalysts to the upside, pushing us to the upside, meaning that they're going to get a lot of revenues tossed their way, a couple tens of millions tossed their way, that should be something that would be big enough deal to push us beyond that $10 mark, maybe up to the 15. So we're going to have to watch and see. It is a speculative play because it is a pre-profit company, but it is one that has a lot of promise to it. And that's what's generating so much excitement is it going to be that next Palantir? Well, we want to watch for signs of adoption. I said it before. I'm going to keep on saying it here. Show me the money. If we see that money starting to roll in, if we start to see that adoption start to come its way, it doesn't have to be profitable. It just has to have significant hard evidence signs of growth with those revenues being filled out, with commercial adoption, with government adoption, to really show that it's broadening its reach and it's also deepening its reach into each of those areas. So that's Big Bear AI for you, Big Bear AI stock. And we'll move over to SOUN. And the reason I want to put this up here is, yeah, we hit that double top, but we also had that mean reversion where we came back to this blue 20 EMA that's on here, and that was an excellent place to find support. We have a complete momentum reset back down to just north of 50 on the daily chart. If we go out to the weekly RSI for this, we're at 53, and if we go out to the monthly RSI, we're sitting at 56. So if we can hold this 20-day, this blue 20-day that's on here where this closing of the candle sits in the pre-market, we're bouncing a little bit. Staying up above that is going to be wildly bullish for us, at least keeping us away from a further sell-off. So if we lose that support, though, then we look down to the 200 and the 50-day. That could also be an excellent area to find a nice solid bounce. Staying north of the 200 is the last line of defense that we want to see as the bulls waiting for this thing to continue its march upward. We hit just over, we'll call it about $13.50 to the upside of this. Double peaked, had that big old sell-off around the same time that Big Bear AI had that sell-off. We'll see if we get that recovery. To put up the EMAs just for a moment on this, we're dangling off the 5 and the 13. That's not great. That shows some near-term weakness. And when I say that, I mean it on a daily basis. We want to get back up on top of those and ride them like we did this wave over here. That's going to allow us to see that we have that further bullishness continuing for us. But that's near-term what we want to watch. Stay on top. The 20, which is this blue one, and if not, we have that tangle of moving averages down here to also sit us on. Yeah, there's more technicals here. We don't find as much noise here. We don't find as much solid support or resistance that we did with Big Bear AI, but we do have some things to fall back on. This 1069 level seems to be a very critical level, so if we find ourselves pulling back to that far, it would coincide with the moving averages, and it's also looks like a 23.6 and a 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level, and having it doubled up like that and these long wicks that we have over here as evidence of buying pressure around those values could be, if we don't find this bounce now, could be soon after that on the way down. So watch for that, following that mean reversion, that we start to take that next rocket ship. It could most definitely happen. We want to find some volume support in these moves. We don't have it right now. Now C3 AI, also known as AI stock, let me take down the technicals because I really want you to pay attention once again to the simple moving averages that are on here, because yesterday, my friends, not only did we break previously up over the 200, but yesterday we retested it as support, and that is huge to break the resistance, find it as support. So you can see if we follow the history, rejection at the 200, came back down to the 50, retest, find support, came back, got rejected at the 200, turned back around, broke the 200, excellent. So yeah, we broke resistance, but then we jumped on the floor to see if it would hold us. And that's exactly what happened, is that so far it held us. So we do want to see, the volumes are looking pretty good. We want to see that continued volume after yesterday's retest. We could be pushing some higher numbers here coming in, which means that we could break up over these previous highs that we had most recently of $30 per share. This could be that start of that golden cross moment, that time where a long opportunity really does present itself, and we could just keep on climbing up the ladder here. If we look a little bit further left on this, we get a little bit tangled up as we start to get into those low 30s, but this could be a low to mid 30s move for us potentially. If I saw us stopping somewhere, it'd be around that mid 30s, like $34 to $36 per share per AI. So this could be a wonderful opportunity, finding that retest on the 200-day, assuming that the background market bias can keep on pumping for us in the near term. If on the macro environment side of things start to pull back, well, companies like C3 AI, Big Bear AI, SOUN, they're going to have trouble with their multiples as well, especially because each one of them is a pre-profit company. So Lucid is one that I'm actually fairly excited about. Let me take down the technicals for this one, because right now we're at 316 in the pre-market, and the daily chart actually offers us some really, really cool information, if you will. So we'll reset the view so you can see it. So we actually had yesterday this massive engulfing candle over the previous sell that we got before. This is a bullish sign that we have here. I was hoping to see us come back to the 200 EMA. If we didn't come back there, I was hoping to come back down to the 200 SMA, which is down here around 255. If we put them both up just for a moment, it's 255 all the way up to 264. So anywhere in that range. I was hoping to see that retest. We might not get it sometime soon if this engulfing candle is going to play out and if EVs continue to be hot. This is something that could be in the mid threes in the near term. It could also push up to $4. The momentum sitting at 69.99. If we go out to the weekly momentum for this, we are at 61, so perfect. If we go out to monthly momentum for that, then we are at 44. And let me stretch this out a little bit. I'm on kind of a dinosaur of a computer right now, so it's a little bit laggy, but bear with me. If we can finish strong for July, we're going to have a confirmed uptick in the momentum. So a momentum reversal, if you will. So from being bearish and declining to being bearish and inclining. So seeing that steepening come back, if we start to see that curve come back around, and the volumes here suggest that we have gotten into an accumulation period as the shares have gotten cheaper for Lucid, that some of the perceived value has really started to come into it after a very long and sustained sell over time. So for Lucid, very excited about it. I think that we could see mid threes up to $4. And if we do get that 1 to 10 stock split that I've heard about, I'll see what date that's supposed to be coming for us. Well, then you just 10x those values that I gave you. Instead of seeing $3.50 to $4, say $35 to $40. So TDOC. There we go. TDOC. I said for telehealth, telemedicine. Now, mind you, they've made moves internationally, if you will, that you can find them over in Europe. I think I also saw either South Africa, South America, as they've done that broadening. They also do white label products with hospitals, insurance companies. So this is a company that I think is going to expand over time, that there have been international trends towards telemedicine, trying to reach out to the more remote areas that can't get to hospitals, elderly people that can't necessarily be able to get out of bed or make it to those appointments. Also, the rising cost of healthcare, that this can offer a cheaper alternative. It sounds like there are some governmental issues, especially expiring in October. Those are ones that if I do a fundamental deep dive for TDOC, we could see that as well. But this is the exciting news today. Once again, it's about these moving averages. We've been fighting with $9 per share. Once again, this is the third fight with $9 per share. As we're gapping up, we had this selling pressure evidenced from the last 2 days after we found support down at the 50. And let me take down the EMAs just for a moment. We actually are trading still above, so we had the reversion to the mean, sold down below the 20-day for a little bit. Now we find ourselves on top of it. So we had that mean reversion, and now we're trying to launch from that higher point. So we've had higher highs, we've had higher lows. This one's trending upward. The daily RSI 57, weekly looks like, as I click over here, 51, so perfect. And if we go out to monthly RSI on this one, down at 35. So are we climbing on this? We don't really have huge signs of a turnaround yet in terms of a climb for that. So for the weekly, however, we're in bullish territory. For the daily, we're in bullish territory. If we can overtake that $9, we can really start to push to some significant upside, and that can down the road lead us to that golden cross scenario. This is one of my best stocks to buy now for Q3 2025. Also AI, I've added that to my list of best stocks to buy for Q3 2025. Not advice, not telling you to buy it, but it's on my list for the things that I would like to buy during this third quarter, because I think that they could have a lot of alpha to them as well. TDOC has been on there for a while, and it has outperformed the S&P. It's outperformed the Russell 2000. It's outperformed the NASDAQ 100, the Dow Jones. You name it, that massive outperformance is there. Other stocks like Moderna, RH is another one that's out there, Restoration Hardware, that all these stocks have started making those moves. We've seen evidence that it could happen sometime soon, and they have started breaking out, moving wildly. I'm not covering all of them in this video, but if you guys would like to see more of the companies that I follow, more of my technicals, the cryptos also that I follow, down in the description of this video is a link for the Discord. Click on that, sign up. I'm just one of the experts over there. Other people like me are sharing with the stocks that they see, the news that they find important. We also all share our trades over there, our buys, our sells. Stock Motion is also over there. He shares his buys, sells. Also, there's some learning opportunities through some live trading sessions that are also over there. So you guys can come check it out. It really is an entire ecosystem there dedicated to help supporting you in your journey towards financial freedom and building alpha in your portfolio. And we're here to help you through that process. So you guys can come on over, check it out. Code word doctor when you sign up for the earner tier is going to get you a massive discount on your first month sign up. It is expiring soon, so make sure that you take advantage of it before that runs out, because then it just goes to regular price, and I don't know when the next discount code will come along, but it's definitely not going to be immediate. And then also down in the description, find the link for Stockmo Academy. When you click on that link, there's 2 courses that you go to. One is technical analysis, which includes trading using technicals. So if you like the technicals that you see here, you want to produce them yourself. That can really help you look for those opportunities and find those opportunities. And also, if you learn how to trade options to take advantage of the big moves and really outsize your gains on those moves, there's an options course over there as well. So code word doctor works on getting you a discount on the one-time fee lifetime access courses. If you bundle the 2 courses, you get a bundle discount, and code word doctor gets you a further discount on top of that. Yet it really is the best value that you're going to find. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Check out those links. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you next video.